Hey cuties! So today I am going to be doing a quite different video than I do, and it's talking to you guys about who I look up to and reasons why. If you're curious about my cray hair, I have a tutorial on this. I will leave it down below. I get told all the time by you guys that I am your inspiration and I'm your role model and somebody that you guys look up to, and I never really say who I look up to or who my inspiration is. I do have a few, and I'm gonna share them right now. So I jotted a list yesterday. It was very simple for me because I didn't have to think much about it, but I just wanted to make sure that I had everyone that I look up to on my cell phone, and I definitely do. And the first person that I put on there, and my role model that has been for years, and you guys asked me on Form Spring, when I used to do Form Spring, like way back when, that was my number one asked question, was who I look up to or who my inspiration is, and I always said Steve Wilkos. Steve Wilkos is one person that I always have looked up to and always will. If you are not sure who that is, basically he has his own TV show, talk show, and he was a bodyguard on Jerry Springer. That's how he kind of like got his start. He was also a Chicago police officer for many years and then became in like the TV industry. And now he has his own show. He helps people. And he brings them on and helps them with, you know, relationships or cheating, and people who abuse children are the stories that he does a lot on his show because he is quite against that. Who he is and how he conducts himself and how he loves his wife. He loves his kids. He's there for his kids. He doesn't make excuses. He's always there. He shows who he is. If he doesn't like someone, he'll let you know. And if he likes you, he'll let you know. If he's wrong in a situation, he'll be the first one to apologize and say, you know, I'm sorry, and I just had an instinct that I was right. And he's not afraid to expose people for who they are. If they are, you know, cheaters, liars, rapists, anything that's negative in this world and doing harm to another individual, he will expose them and make it known and try to help the victim in the situation and help the whole situation in general. And he tries so hard, and you can just see his passion and who he is and how he's such a good father and a good husband. If you just listen to the words that he says, it's just really inspirational in how he cares so much even if he doesn't even know you. Second person I put on my list is my mom. And I know a lot of people would probably put their mom or their dad or somebody who's very close to them, but I do look up to my mom, and she is my inspiration. And for the reasoning of that is that she has been through so much. She lost her parents when she was extremely young. She didn't even know her parents, basically. They died when she was, I think, 3 or 4, so very young. She had a huge family, and their family got like split apart, and sisters going here and brothers going here. And then growing up, she basically didn't have a home because of the whole situation with her parents passing away. And then like in and out of foster care, in and out of sister and brother's homes, and then eventually ended up with my dad. And she's just been through so much, like so much. She had to give a child away for adoption, my sister. And it was the best reasoning at the time to do that. Some people wouldn't agree with adoption, but in her situation, it kind of had to be done. If you guys want me to discuss the adoption situation, I definitely will. But just for all the struggles that she has endured in her life and still is, you know, positive and happy and does not care at all what anyone thinks of her, like at all, like won't even address it. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I will wear this. I don't care how old I am. I'm gonna wear this. And, you know, always has a spunky personality. If somebody is dissing her family or if somebody is aggressive towards people that she loves, you better watch out because she is a mama bear and she's so passionate. The next person on my list is my dad, and it is for similar reasons but different as well. My dad always is real. My dad is the realest person that I know. He is who he is. He never tries to change for anyone at all, and you can sit down and talk with him and he is one of the nicest people ever. Like, he's just real. He has no reason to be mean, no reason to be hostile. He's like never stressed out. He never is sad. I shouldn't say sad, but like he never has a reason to stress about things because life goes on and you just gotta roll with the punches. And if something bad happens, you just have to deal with it. And I respect that so much, and that's what I look up to because, you know, you go over to his house and they could be in debt or, you know, their house could have burned down or something like that. And he's just, oh, you know, it'll just happen. Everything happens and we just gotta keep going. And that's how my dad's attitude always has been. And I look up to that, and so many of my friends are like, wow, your dad is like so inspirational. Like he just, you know, if something happens, it happens. And he's not gonna treat anyone down. He's not gonna talk down to anyone. He treats everyone the same. Everyone the same. Whether, it doesn't matter what race you are, what gender you are, how you present yourself to him, he's just gonna treat you as he would to anyone else. And that's why I respect my dad. Next, I have a few celebrities. The first one on here, you guys probably won't agree with me, but there are some reasonings, and that is Heidi Montag. And some people might say, oh my God, just because she's blonde or has big fake boobs or something. Absolutely not. I do think she's gorgeous. The reasoning, because she has got so much hate for her plastic surgeries and for everything else, like her relationship and just everything. She gets constant hate saying that she's fake and all this. And you know what? Smile on her face. And even though there's so much hate about all her plastic surgeries that she's had, she doesn't go, oh my God, I look the best, I look so good. No, she came on and said, you know what, I had botched plastic surgeries, look at it. And she went in a bikini and showed like all of her botched surgeries she had. And even though she endured hours of pain, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of work, she's still a person and she's still who she is. And she said, you know what? I want to help young girls, and don't do this. Do not do this all in one day. Like, if you're gonna get one, get one. Do not do like 6 in one day. Like, live and learn from my mistakes. And she still has a smile on her face, even though I'm still on websites and they say, you know, top 10 ugliest girls, and she's on the list, or celebrities, sorry, or top 10 botched plastic surgeries, and she's on the list. And even though she looks extremely fake, as most people would say, it doesn't matter. It matters who she is inside. And even though you don't really know a celebrity, I can tell that she is a genuine person, personality-wise. I do not care what she looks like, even though I think she's gorgeous, but that's besides the point. Next, these aren't in any order, like it's not in order of how I look up to them. It's just the list that I wrote and who came to my mind first. But Demi Lovato. I don't think I've ever talked about Demi Lovato on my channel before. Demi Lovato, I honestly didn't know who she was until about a year and a half ago, something like that. Like, I had no idea who she was. I'm not too big into like Disney or anything, like Disney stars, I should say, so I don't keep up with that. After hearing her struggles and her story, it moved me and it motivated me. Like, when I started to know who she was, I was like, oh, I started to know who she was. Like, the first time I knew who Demi Lovato was when she was in rehab. So your first impression is, oh, she's in rehab. What for? Like, is she a drug addict? Is she something you don't know? I'm not passing judgment, but my first impression of her was rehab, right? But the thing with me is, I'm not just gonna look at rehab and be like, oh, she's a drug addict, bye. I'm gonna, you know, give somebody a chance. I always do, sort of like my dad. I'm very much like my dad. I'm not too big on her music, but that doesn't matter. Who she is and her struggles, just like Heidi Montag. I don't care what she looks like, it's her personality. I'm not a fan of Demi Lovato's music, but I am so respectful for the person who she is today. She has went through so many struggles with cutting, depression, anxiety. She's went through eating disorders and being in just a low place, rehab, so many down things in her life. And again, smile on her face and trying to help other people in that who have depression and who are cutting and self-harming and, you know, eating disorders. And she's wanting to tell them to be yourself. You can get through this. You can push through it. You just got to stay strong. And when I realized who she was, not just like what media says, like, and, you know, reading her tweets and following her interviews and stuff, it's like, wow, this girl is so mature and she has a great story and background behind her. I would be honored to meet Demi Lovato, and I'm not going to be some fangirl like, oh my that, even though fangirls are amazing and I love them. But I truly respect her as an individual for going through so much and still staying on top of her music and with her fans and following back and just, you know, loving life. Emma Watson. Oh my goodness, can we say sexy? Like, this girl, looks-wise, and personality and demeanor and who she is, her style, her swagger, her sense of humor, she is sexy and confident. This girl is a billionaire probably. Like, she's been in so many movies. I loved her in The Bling Ring. OMG, like, she is such a good actress. She's not like one of these actresses who just reads the lines. Like, she fully goes into her part in Harry Potter. I love Emma Watson, like, oh my gosh. And she actually took her money that she's made from Harry Potter and put herself back in school. Like, she didn't just like sit there and blow it all, even though you can do whatever you want with your money, it's your money, but like, she went back to school. She's a true inspiration. The way she carries herself, I guess, is why I look up to her. And I was just watching her interview on gender equality, and the fluentness of her voice and how she speaks and her opinions are so strong and motivating. Like, Emma Watson, like, she's a beautiful girl. Like, oh my gosh, stunning on the outside. And when she talks and shows you who she is, it's the same on the inside. Beautiful, stunning, sharp and witty and smart and just a true inspiration. So I love Emma Watson. And those are all the people that I look up to the most. There are more people who, you know, I like and say I love them or I really like them or look up to them, but these are like the top people that I thought right away who, you know, truly put inspiration in my mind. I know there are hate on everyone in this world, so there are people who obviously are gonna hate Steve Wilkos and my mom and my dad and Heidi Montag and Demi Lovato. There are people that hate them and will say, you know, well, they did this in their life and they did this, so why do you like them if they were a drug addict, or why do you like them if they said this in an interview? Everyone makes mistakes, and I'm just saying they're just general persona is why I like them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys! This is a tequila lollipop with an actual worm in it. So yes, that's very, very strange, don't you think? I thought